निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाषाणदेशतारणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण मंगलाति वाचालमंगलाति Live stream. Oh my God. Okay. So Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Am I talking to the wall or what? Oh, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavat pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Oh, hey, Hare Bol. Right. Oh, what a tough audience. So
Everybody's enjoying bank holiday Monday, Prabhu.
is that?
Yes, looks like it.
Then why do they join, man? Just enjoy, na?
This is the best part.
Yeah, trying to have the best out of both worlds. Enjoy and keep some Hare Krishna in the going in the ears. So I just thought I'll fill the gap today. Looks to be a big gap. Maybe we'll read one verse just so we feel a little spiritual. All right. Okay, this is good. Oh, you know what? Maybe we'll read one verse from Bhagavatam, which is more nice. Okay, nice. This is good. Okay, we'll just read one. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 5, Chapter 5. Lord Rishabhadev's teachings. Okay. Text 2. Mahat Sevam Dvaramahur Vimuktes Tamo Dvaram Yoshitam Sangi Sangam Mahantaste Sama Chittaha Prashanta Vimanyavaha Suhrda Sadhavoye. Translation Prabhupada Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. One can attain the path of liberation from material bondage only by rendering service to highly advanced spiritual personalities. These personalities are impersonalists and devotees. Whether one wants to merge into the Lord's existence or wants to associate with the personality of Godhead, one should render service to the Mahatmas. For those who are not interested in such activities, who associate with people fond of women and sex, the path to hell is wide open. The Mahatmas are equipoised. They do not see any difference between one living entity and another. They are very peaceful and are fully engaged in devotional service. They are devoid of anger and they work for the benefit of everyone. They do not behave in any abominable way. Such people are known as Mahatmas. The human body is like a junction. One may either take the path of liberation or the path leading to a hellish condition. How one can take this path is described herein. On the path of liberation, one associates with Mahatmas, and on the path of bondage, one associates with those attached to the sense gratification and women. There are two types of Mahatmas, the impersonalists and the devotees. Although their ultimate goal is different, the process of emancipation is almost the same. Both want eternal happiness. One seeks happiness in impersonal Brahman, and the other seeks happiness in the association of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As described in the first verse, Brahma Saukhyam. Brahman means spiritual or eternal. Both the impersonalists and devotees seek eternal blissful life. In any case, it is advised that one becomes perfect. In the words of Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya 2287, Asat Sanga Tyaga E Vaishnava Achar Shri Sangi Eka Asadu Krishna Bhakta Ara. To remain unattached to the modes of material nature, one should avoid associating with those who are asat materialistic. There are two kinds of materialists. One is attached to women and sense gratification, and the other is simply a non-devotee. On the positive side is association with Mahatmas, and on the negative side is the avoidance of non-devotees and humanities. To remain unattached to the modes of material nature, one should avoid associating with those who are asat materialistic. There are two kinds of materialists. Okay, one is attached to women and sense gratification. Okay. The other is simply a non-devotee. On the positive side is association with Mahatmas. On the negative side is the avoidance of non-devotees and women. Okay. Hey. Interesting. Oh, Yogesh Prabhu, where are you sitting? He's seeing something or what? See, he's not even listening, man. Wow. You there? Yogesh Prabhu, you there?
Yes, Prabhu, I couldn't hear you actually. There is some issues on the device here.
You are somewhere else or what?
Can you hear me now? I'm in Vivek Prabhu's house here.
Oh,
There are two devices, so I'm getting confused where it is actually. Which one is?
you're in Vivek Prabhu's house. What, are you guys doing some party or what?
Yeah, I mean, you can put that off. I mean, because I'm getting confused.
Hey, you guys are having party there?
Yeah, it's Vivek Prabhu's daughter Navya's birthday.
Oh my God, that's why I could see some balloon floating somewhere from Vivek Prabhu's background.
Balloons here? Maybe somewhere.
Oh, so many people gathered or what?
Yeah, some. I mean, now they are on the way. Nitai
On the
Prabhu is-
way, man. Because dinner time is on the way. Oh, Hare Krishna, Nitai from Prabhu. Jai. Then who is that?
Then
Oh,
Vivek
Mataji. Okay.
and Amit Prabhu.
Oh, Amit Prabhu. What? He's moved or what? He was somewhere
Amit
else in the
Prabhu
world.
moved
Isn't it?
back from West Drayton back to Barking side now.
Oh, Hare Krishna. Very good. So still on the way, huh?
I don't know. Maybe I'm just speculating.
Wow. What's the menu though?
What's the menu? I haven't seen them. I don't know. I mean, the menu is anyway irrelevant to me, so it's okay.
Yeah, you won't take anything anyway. What's that? You have chenna sabji, rice, and what? Chenna sabji, chips, burger. Is that burger or what? No, that's puri.
Puri. There was a puri I saw.
Yeah.
He's showing that puri. That's a puri actually.
Okay. Is that a cake and gulab jamun or what?
What's in the sweet? Gulab jamun.
Oh, I got it. Wow. What can I say, man? Oh, interesting. Whoever is eating that plate, they're going to have an interesting digestive system today. We have put an evil eye on it.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Oh, cake cutting is finished or yet to cut?
Sorry?
Cake cutting finished or yet to cut?
Cake cutting finished. Oh, there's another cake cutting. Oh, there's another cake cutting. One cake is over. There's another cake cutting pending.
Huh?
Another cake cutting pending. One is cut already.
One is cut, you got another one. Man, talking about party, man, this is the double range party. 2 cakes. Is it the small daughter or the big one?
The younger one.
Or the small one?
The small one. Yeah. Navya.
Oh, is she her name is
Navya.
Navya? Wow, that looks nice. Who did that?
Who did that? Who did that? Who made it? Oh, so it's from outside.
Okay, no wonder.
Maybe.
But it looks really good. So
Too professional.
too professional, isn't it? It's Oreos or what? That chocolate chips thingy on the top. That's Oreos, isn't it?
What?
You know that biscuit, Oreos chocolate biscuit thingy on the top.
Yes, Prabhu, that's Oreo chocolate biscuits.
Yeah. Oreo, whatever.
Oh, okay. Maybe. I
Wow. Anyway, you can't eat also, don't worry.
Huh?
Anyway, you can't eat, innit? Doesn't make a difference.
For me, it's all the same.
You're gonna have fruit salad, maybe.
Whether Oreo or Wario, whatever. I mean, it's the same.
That's all. The kids like it anyway.
Yeah, they like it.
Oh, very good. Very good. No wonder you guys are excited there.
Yeah. Otherwise,
Okay.
there'll be a lot of noise now. There are a lot of kids have come.
Lots of, oh my God, it's gonna be a jungle then. A lot of shouting. Oh, whoa. Too many kids, isn't it?
There will be a lot of background noise coming from.
Yeah, a lot of sounds and noise, and tomorrow is working day also. So we'll keep it easy anyhow today. Okay. Oh, let me read once more this title because I totally forgot what I read after seeing the Oreo cake, especially. Okay, one can attain the path of liberation from material bondage only by running to some highly advanced spiritual personalities. These personal devotees, whether one wants to merge into the Lord's existence or wants to associate with the personality of Godhead, one should enter service to the Mahatmas. Okay. For those who are not interested in such ideas or want to associate with people fond of moving on sex, the path to hell is wide open. The Mahatmas are equipoised. They do not see any difference between one and another. They are very peaceful and fully engaged in universal. They are devoid of anger and they work for the benefit of everyone. They do not behave in any abominable way. Okay, such people are known as Mahatmas. Brilliant. So here we can see the 5th chapter, Lord Rishabhadev's chapter. Okay, so if you remember the 5th canto talks about the whole creation. So in this particular chapter, they are getting into Rishabhadev's characteristics, and from Rishabhadev only the great personality appear. He had many children or sons and daughters, right? Do you remember the name of the person who came out of Rishabhadev? And on whose name India, or actually not India to be frank. But anyway, currently the India has another name. What's that? In Sanskrit, maybe.
Bharat.
Bharat, Mahabharat. So yeah, Rishabhadev's son, one of the son, actually not one of the son, he's the eldest son, Bharat Maharaj. So they're kind of heading towards that direction. This particular chapter is basically Rishabhadev is started giving instructions to his sons. And Rishabhadev has pretty much single-handedly pointed his finger towards Bharat Maharaj. And he's told all his sons, okay, these are the teachings and follow Bharat Maharaj. He's the topmost. Well, Rishabhadev himself kind of, glorifies Bharat Maharaj because he, Rishabhadev, as you know, right, is he a normal person or someone more empowered? Rishabhadev. You heard his name before? No? You know Rishabhadev or not, man? No? Okay, forget it. So Rishabhadev is he is an incarnation of the Lord. He is a Shaktivesh avatar kind of person. So he is not some normal human being. So he was his father's name. What was his father's name? Rishabhadev. Rishabhadev's parents, his father, did a King Nabi. Okay, so King Nabi did a big sacrifice. King Nabi did a big sacrifice. Okay, he didn't have any children. So King Nabi did a big time sacrifice where the Brahmanas and everyone did a big sacrifice, and the prayer was this: we want a son, but not some son. We want a son exactly like you. Like who? Lord Vishnu. So Lord, and it's an amazing way Prabhupada explains in the chapter how, I mean, like, Lord Vishnu is a very important personality. We all know he is a very busy personality. He has lots of creations, lots of demigods. He has lots of things to do. And Prabhupada explains, a devotee actually never prays to Krishna for any material things. Why? Because they don't want to disturb Krishna, the Supreme Lord, to come and fulfill his, our desires, devotees' desires. Okay, a devotee I'm talking, right? A devotee generally has that sentiment, the sentiment of not to go and disturb Krishna unnecessarily. Give me this, give me that, all that kind of stuff. So a devotee always prays to Krishna only how I can serve you. That's all. I'm saying what Prabhupada said in the whole chapter. The sum and substance was like that. But here is the funny bit. Krishna sees the other way. Prabhupada is explaining. He's saying that Krishna has so many important things, especially Lord Vishnu, who is like appointed to do the official duties, just like a king. A king is given obviously is a king, but the king has his own duties to be performed, which means he's more duty bound. He has lots of office work to be done, right? Even though he's the king. So similarly, Lord Vishnu, even though he's a supreme Lord, he has a lot of office work to do, so Prabhupada was saying that Lord Vishnu, he has so many things to be done, but he's basically just waiting. Prabhupada saying in the purport, he's just waiting. Is there anything I can do for my devotees? He's just waiting. So when a devotee from his heart gets to pray something, Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Lord, he pretty much keeps fulfilling devotees' desires as a primary thing, and he'll drop everything else and go. So Prabhupada is saying that, a devotee generally never prays in the minds, never goes and bother Lord Vishnu, and he doesn't want to do that. That's a devotee. But Lord Vishnu on the other side is hankering and waiting when I can do something for my devotee. So it's that kind of a loving reciprocation. So that's why King Nabi, right? He was praying, he did this big sacrifice, the Brahmanas did the whole big time sacrifice, and then Lord Vishnu appears. And the Lord Vishnu appears asking, what do you want? And okay, I bless you and all that. But Brahmanas who were doing the yajna, they were so, they felt guilty, they felt so bad. They did the sacrifice, and all of a sudden Lord Vishnu appears. And the Brahmanas felt so bad that, how low we are, that, we are disturbing you, for all petty things, give me a child and all that stuff, right? Lord Vishnu has something more important things to do. So the Brahmanas were feeling so much crushed, that we are so sorry that we need to do this for you. But Lord Vishnu appeared, and he was so pleased and happy. He was like, this is the most happiest thing for me. I would love to do this for you all. So that's when Prabhupada was saying that, a mood of a devotee is, how can I serve you? Rather than, how can you serve me? So, and then at the end of the chapter, what's his name? At the end of the chapter, obviously Lord Vishnu blessed King Nabi with a child, not just one, many, but Bharat Maharaj was one of those empowered personalities, kind of representing I'm sorry, what's his name? Rishabhadev. Sorry, the whole he got King Nabi got lots of children, but Rishabhadev is the avatar of Lord Vishnu, appeared as God. God appeared as Rishabhadev in King Nabi's dynasty. And then from there, Rishabhadev gave birth to many children, and Bharat Maharaj came out. Okay, and then that's why where we are right now, where Bharat Maharaj is given, Bharat Maharaj and the whole list of children or his kids, being Bharat Maharaj is receiving all the instructions from Rishabhadev. And as we all know, the Bharat Maharaj, there's a famous thing, where he gets attached to deer and he gives up everything and he gets attached to deer and then he becomes a deer. This is a very famous pastime I've heard many times. And then it kind of continues to that place. But the tone of the whole chapter of previous one and the current one is how pressed the wrong button maybe. Okay. The power of this chapter and the previous one is to say that how great is the position of someone who is a devotee, and that's why in this particular verse you can see they use the word Mahatmas. Mahatmas is someone who are all those great characteristics. They're very peaceful. They're very, they're fully engaged in devotional service. They're not disturbed by any material desires, all the hankerings for sense gratification of all types. Okay. So that's where we are in this place, that Rishabhadev is telling to his sons that that's the type of association we should have. We should have an association to that kind of Mahatmas who have zero inclination for any form of sense gratification. And they just always think about how to serve Krishna, you see. So I'll tell you one small thing here. I was lately hearing I've been hearing many people of various things related to meditation and meditation and self-care and stuff like that. And I was hearing one person, he's really big in terms of going to corporate world, is really big, I don't know if you have heard Dandipani. He is a really big Hindu. He's a Hindu priest. Hindu priest in the sense he's a married man, but he was once a monk. And he goes along and talks a lot of meditation in terms of concentration, focus. It's more of a corporate coach, executive coach, but giving the teachings of Hindu philosophy in the form of meditation and focus, concentration, and all that. Because the world needs more people who can focus more easily rather than be distracted. So his solution to people who are struggling from lack of productivity is improve your focus and concentration. And he promotes his product is meditation. Okay. Now, so I was hearing many of his classes, a kind of seminars, I would say. But in one of them, he was saying how the ashram from where he came from functions. Okay. Now, this is not to say anything about the ashram which they have and all that. I'm not interested in that. But I was just comparing that with Prabhupada's standard. Okay, and this just blew my mind. So he was saying that when he was a monk, which is like many years ago, when he started, he got into it. I'm not going to go into his history, but he got into this practice of spirituality, Hinduism. Okay, he had a monk, again was a Western American guru, obviously, who took initiation, or he took his guru was someone from India. So basically, an Indian guru had a Western disciple, and this personality was living in Hawaii, and this Dandipani was having a inspiration from this guru, and he took initiation from this personality. Okay, this Western. So what happens is he moved to Hawaii and settled there, and he was a monk in monastery. So he told the whole story. So, and to cut that short, right, what he was saying is, one of the things they asked was, okay, what do you do? What's your day-to-day activity looks like in the ashram? Okay, so this is like Pakka monks, okay. So he was saying, okay, yeah, we wake up in the morning for 5-ish, kind of, and then we do our worship in the morning. So that ashram is Lord Shiva, they worship Lord Shiva. So he said, yeah, morning hours around 5-ish, we do our worship for nearly an hour. We get to do various forms of worship, and then we go away. After that, do some meditation, and then after that have our breakfast. And then he said the morning hours of our time, each set of monks go and do certain activities. Like some will go into office and do some technical related stuff. Some could be in the cleaning. Some would be doing some other work within the kitchen. So he said, like, each one takes different departments, and we take care of the ashram, do whatever activities are needed. And then around lunchtime, we come back again, and we have our lunch. And he said, straight after lunch, we'll have a 2 hours nap. We take rest. And then after that, we go away and do some activities for the evening, again, around the ashram, or the people who are coming in the evening hours, we get to talk to them, So those kind of things, kind of socialize a bit in the world. And then after that, around night hours, they come back, take dinner. Then after that, they spend 2 hours or so watching television, and then they go to bed. Okay. So I heard this and I was thinking, man, I would love to join an ashram like that, actually, You get nice breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and use your skill set in doing some nice, happy things within the ashram. And then you get to watch television also at night, man. So I was like, and these are Pakka monks, okay? And I say monks, they wear saffron robes. I was thinking, it's just like, I just took that straight thing and I mapped that with ISKCON standards, what Prabhupada said. And we all know what's the standard. Starting 3 o'clock in the morning, straight to 10. They have nothing called sleeping in the middle. They have nothing called, obviously, I'm not saying no one sleeps. It's not like they have a set time. Please, everyone, let's go and have a nap or sleep or something, It's like they got continuous service, right? So it's not like they have a nap time, television time. The purity of practice, which Prabhupada said, was way beyond imagination when you compare with other ashrams which is there. And this person, the people who are coming from that ashram, they're not like some normal guys, You can't see Dandipani in YouTube. That person has more than 1 million followers or something. And he's not simply walking around with no stuff. He's talking some real stuff there, People are really getting inspired. He's a TEDx speaker. He's pretty big, right? Imagine a person who is doing that level of practice, he drinks coffee, tea, all that stuff, because I saw many of his thinking, he's just like any normal. But having said that, he represents what he does in a perfect way. He wears this Lord Shiva 3 lines here. They have all this Rudraksha, mala, which he wears. He goes Pakka, solid representative of Lord Shiva worshipper, even in a corporate world. You just see, you'll be amazed. He's not like, like sometimes we do, right? Go with pant shirt, wipe out the tilak, and just go and stand in front of the big executives. No, he is like perfectly representing what he is wearing. And you'll be surprised in his corporate presentation seminars, he puts his Gurudev's photo. He literally tells, I am presenting you my Gurudev's tools and techniques here, so you can have a productive life, right? Very bold, very straightforward. I was pretty much, I would say it's a hats off, to have that level of courage. But the level of practice is nowhere near to what ISKCON Prabhupada gave. Our practice, recommended his monks, I'm saying, brahmacharis. So in other words, what I'm saying is, you got the external, in the world outside, there are so many good people. He's a nice man, when you hear his when you hear his seminars and all that, you'll see he adds a lot of value. But they have very limited knowledge, in comparison to what Prabhupada is giving. But they are making a positive impact in the world, which is a great inspiration to take for people like us, right? Because we want to give that impact like they do. But the level of devotion in terms of depth in their practice and the principles they follow, it's nothing equal to anything what Prabhupada is giving. So imagine the amount of impact we can give if we just get to follow what Prabhupada is telling all of us, right? The practice. Like this Mahatma concept comes to mind, The Prabhupada said this, set up this solid standard where it is absolutely near impossible. If someone gets to follow that, one can miss to become a Mahatma. It is absolutely impossible of what Prabhupada is said and teaching, The reason is, the reason we are not able to go anywhere near that zone of a devotee, forget about Mahatma, right, is because of all our desires, which is clouding our practice, like whatever is mentioned there, the sense gratificatory desires. If not all of us, at least majority of us, we are inclined towards practicing Krishna consciousness, mainly for our own personal desires, right? Majority of us are driven by that. So naturally, the purity of practice is little. It's little. It's not as effective as it has to be. So that's why it's important to take inspiration from these personalities, like how Prabhupada is so clearly, bluntly explaining. See, that's why it's another point is this, okay? Reading Prabhupada's books and hearing his lectures. That's why it's so important. Nowadays, we have lots of speakers in the world, in ISKCON. We have lots of books in ISKCON. But what's happened is to accommodate the new people who are coming in, or the people who are not as interested in spiritual life as we would generally. So those books and classes are pretty much directed to those brand new, fresh out of the gate, those kind of people. So what happens is the philosophy is a bit more wishy-washy. It's like, it's a combination of, have fun, at the same time chant Hare Krishna. That kind of my proposals will be there. But what happens is people like us, who wants to get serious, when you get to hear of all those types, which is actually, you are not the target audience, it's some brand new guy, okay, who is not yet interested. But we take it personally, and if we start to emulate that, oh, it's okay, I think I can eat here, I can do this, I can be like that, I can do like that, which is all like wishy-washy, kind of a polished version of practice, then naturally we are not going to get what we are looking for, which is like a deep Krishna conscious experience. But that's why it's so important that we need to read Prabhupada's books and hear his lectures, because Prabhupada is pretty straightforward and clear in what he's saying. There's no what you call confusion there. When you read his lectures, hear his lectures, read his books, he clearly, bluntly says what should be done, what shouldn't be done. Simple as that, You don't need a purport after that. Like I said, the previous chapter, the continuous recurring theme saying that devotees should not pray and do service for personal sense gratificatory purpose. A devotee will never do that, and he shouldn't be doing that. A devotee should always be in the mood of how to serve, not to be served. All that. Now, obviously, I know majority of us may would have heard this million times. It just goes on top of our head because we heard this anyway. But the outside world doesn't seem to be like that, which is inside this, in ISKCON itself, you'll see not everyone is like that. Everyone seems to be normal. They seem to be happy, having good family, chilling out, doing stuff. I would like to be like them. And they are also seem to be treated as a senior devotees, right? So that's why it's so important for us. Yes, we take inspirations of all types from everyone, right? Because every single devotee has a certain element to gift, which we can learn. But we need to understand the standard. The standard bar is set on what Prabhupada has mentioned there, So that's why we shouldn't compromise the standards of what we are looking for. Then naturally, a person, if we keep Prabhupada's standards as the bar which we need to aim towards, then naturally we have an opportunity to go high, and the element of feeling, this element of experiencing, I don't know, like not purity of that type, but at least experiencing the element of what it takes to be a devotee is very, very obvious. So that's why, in this particular chapter, you will see that, the importance of devotional service is very clear, very clearly explained by Prabhupada, and it's something we should aspire for and learn from, so that we can do our service in a proper mindset rather than being disturbed by various different types of desires of all types, which is very natural for practitioners who are kind of slowly heading up in the ladder. So that's one of the things, which I thought which was very inspiring in this one. And those are the types of people we should aim for association, which is another important thing. Because, it's easy to follow, like, nowadays with social media it's easy to follow people who are very, there are so many videos out there where people, and outside people, even within ISKCON I'm talking, right, where the topic of conversation is very much motivational, let's say. Motivational, very much worldly, right? Very much worldly, it's you may not see a too Krishna conscious fanatical approach, let's say, So what happens is people are very much inspired. Generally, those kind of videos go viral, because naturally you are inspired, because we are looking for that. We are looking for a worldly Krishna conscious inspirations. So naturally, whenever we get to see that, we get inspired, and we prefer taking those very closely, right? But what happens is, if you take Prabhupada's lectures, or maybe of that real deep practice, naturally those ones, even within devotees, are not seen much. There's no thirst or hunger, to take that kind of hear those lectures, or try to be more spiritual in that way. So that's why here Prabhupada is saying in this purport that if someone is aspiring to go to the level of being a Mahatma or a devotee of a higher caliber, then one should have a genuine, strong desire to associate with those type of people. And when we get to associate with them, naturally, it's not going to be a pleasant association as we always think. Because when you associate with devotees who are of a higher caliber, naturally, there'll be a lot of impurities which will be exposed from within us, because we are not perfect. And when we are exposed of some impurities which is inside our heart, the natural tendency of people is we get demotivated, we get depressed, we get we talk negative about ourselves, we lack inspiration, we feel like I'm not good for anything. So what happens is our interest to practice kind of declines, you know. Then obviously we don't get to practice with the same enthusiasm, because who likes to be with someone who finds fault in us, right? We don't like to be with someone who says that maybe do this, do that. You're not doing this, you're not doing that. You should do like this, you should not be doing that. You know, no one likes to hear these things, especially from a sadhu whom we see up or look up to, saying everything which comes out of their mouth is a blessing, you know. And when you get to hear from them pointing fingers like this is wrong, that's wrong, this don't do that. Naturally, we all feel like, man, it's like a bad omen, man. Why is this guy, why he has to speak like that, right? And we kind of hesitate going forward to get closer to that person. We get scared, basically. I'm kind of scared, you know, this Maharaj, this Swami, this senior devotee is very strict. I wouldn't want to go near him. So what happens is, it's very obvious, you know, we have pretty much indirectly told Krishna that, you know what, I'm not actually interested for being corrected. I don't want that mercy. I want I don't want that kind of mercy. I want mercy which is like things which I can get very easily without any, you know, without anyone telling me I'm wrong, you know, something which is like a ready-made package. So that's where the problem comes, you know, because we all know there is no institute where we get trained without finding our faults. I mean, like, I don't know if you've been to any schools in your previous lives, right? Where you went to a school or a college or a university where teacher didn't tell you you made something mistake, you made some wrong, you know. It's almost 0%, you know. In fact, it's, yeah, if you put the other way around, 100% of all the students would have been told off by the teacher because they did something wrong, you know. And guess what? That's what they do in the schools. That's why, even in the office, that's what you've been, you know, that's what it is, right? When you're getting trained, it's bound, one is bound to be found fault. Like, you know, they're bound to be found faulted, you know, whatever mistake they did. But the game is this, okay, yeah, okay, this is what I did wrong. Okay, I'll correct it next time, right? Now that's called association, you know, where you are open for being, you're open for being reformed, transformed, you know. But it's very, you don't get to see that a lot within our associations here, you know, in ISKCON or even here within Eastland and anywhere, you know, because it's people close, you know, you get to kind of close the door mentally to people, towards people who are finding kind of mistake at us, you know. Then naturally you are, you know, we all know Understandability. You have heard that word, right? You know, Understandability is the stage where you cut off, you take out all your anarthas. You know, that's what happens. And after Understandability, you get Nishta, which is you become fixed in your spiritual life. And it's a long way down the line, Krishna Prema, don't even talk that. But Understandability is the stage where we rip off all our anarthas and unwanted things, which is stopping us from practice. So basically the concept is, yes, we are in Understandability stage, but I'm not registered for that yet. I'm not interested in it. You see, so that's why taking association is not going to work, because I'm not saying it's not going to work. It will not have its real true impact on us, because association is all about Understandability. You're coming to take an association so that you can drop off all your unwanted things and acquire good things. You cannot have bad things with you and good things at the same time. It's not possible. It's like this. Let's say that, okay, in the association, you get to hear that, you know, I want to, you know, you all should work together cooperatively. This is what Krishna is happy. He is very pleased by that. You say, okay, yeah, sure, I want to work together. And then that's good. That's a good positive thing which you have taken on. But Prabhu, I'm not gonna, if someone kind of doesn't listen to me, if someone doesn't speak to me sweetly always, or maybe someone doesn't praise me when I do something right, good, you know what? I can't work in that environment. Now, so this is like all the anarthas, I don't want anyone to talk bad about me. I want people to praise me. I want to be the center of attraction, not the other guy. Okay. I should not be told off, not even off, I should not even be told that you made some mistake and you just improve because it's not giving the end product we're looking for. No one should tell me that. So what is, you have all that. I have all these anarthas on one side, which I'm not going to give up. But yeah, I want to work together. So like, come on, how is it possible, right? You're not going to get both. You can't get both the worlds there. If you want to work together, be ready to drop off all this stuff to some extent at least. Not like you hold this and then you still want to work. How is it possible? It's not common sense, isn't it? So that's why it's like we go to an association, you take the positive things under the conception that you're ready to drop the negative things. In other words, you are ready to go through Understandability. You are ready to go through purification, right? But unfortunately, majority of us, we all sign up for the good thing and we're not ready to sign up for the actual purification process. Then how is it going to work? It won't work. What will happen is you will end up doing the good thing which has been asked for, which because you are inspired by it, you will push it to 1 week, 2 week, 1 month, 2 month. By the time you hit 4th month, 5th month, 6th month, you are demotivated because people around you are starting to point fingers at you. You're not the center of attraction. Yeah, guess, obviously you're not the center of attraction. But what happens is you feel like you're getting sidelined. You feel like no one is respecting you. Then the 4th, 6th month, you are like just there physically. You are absent mentally and spiritually. Then by the time of 7th, 8th, 9th month, maybe you are even out of the physically also you're out. Because you feel like, what am I doing here? It's demotivating me. I'm getting demotivated. I don't like to be with these guys. Boom, leave. So it's not possible for someone to hang around longer, basically. So that's why we cannot carry our anarthas and walk around everywhere and keep on thinking, whoever pours water in my anartha, he's the best friend. You cannot have association. Mission impossible. Simple as that. It's impossible. Not because the other guy, we ourselves will make it impossible because we are the ones who don't want to be in the association. We move from service to service, team to team, BV to BV, temple to temple, people to people. It just happens non-stop until you die, and then it's continuing forever. There's not going to be one single day where you are found home, where everyone is good devotee. No, because who is a good devotee? In our dictionary, someone who pours water in our anarthas. And tell me who does that? No one does that. No one will do that either. They may do that if in case they want your money, maybe like that, if they have something to take from you. Could be money, could be they want to take your time for doing some service, they have some business to do with you then. But is that the association you want? I'm sure no one wants that. So that's why it's so important. Yes, we all need to be ready to take association, but we need to be ready to go through the purification also, which means register ourselves to say, you know what? I give you license. I give you license to help me go through purification. Which means what? Find, if you do in case find any fault in me, yes, you have the license. Tell me what it is. I'm happy to go through it. Because that's association, that's training, right? You join an institute, you give the license to the teacher saying, yes, tell me what I'm doing wrong, make me a better whatever I'm training for. Okay. So that's why it's so important, we all are there for association. We take so much association. I mean, physically, right? But the amount of growth we have is almost near insignificant. In fact, we may go into negative also. The reason being we offend. Sometimes that's another funny thing we do. When we go into association, at least if we don't offend devotees, we are at least growing slowly somewhere. But what happens is we take association and we go down because we end up fighting. We end up mentally fighting, cursing someone, getting disappointed. There's offense committed, at least on a mental level. The worst thing is in a physical level. You speak something, say some stuff. So these are the things, we end up losing the plot. So basically, we kind of not got our intentions right. So that's why I'm saying here, for all of us, like let's say, Balaram Jayanti is coming, Janmashtami is coming. We have so many desires, in the sense like, oh, I want to be a good devotee. Balaram Jayanti, we offer the prayer. I want to chant pure holy name. I want to be doing this. I want to be doing that. Whatever you have it, right? Janmashtami time again. I want to be a pure devotee. I want to be the Prabhupada's greatest nice devotee, so I can please Prabhupada. So we have all those good things. Amazing. No problem. Please do that. Have more of it. But don't be in illusion. All that will happen whilst we are very much attached to our anarthas. Please don't be in illusion. You're just making a life more complicated. Okay. So that's why it's so important when you offer your prayers. Yes, on one side, tell you want to do this, you want to do that. I'm sure all of us here, we're not like, we all have life to pray for. We pray for our family, father, mother, children, wife. That's not wrong. I'm saying like we all do that, but I'm sure we all have a lot of prayers to serve Krishna also, which is all great. But you need to very strongly pray and beg Krishna, Balaram, especially, who gives the strength, is the master of all spiritual strength. We all should literally pray that, please give me the strength, the intelligence, so I can go through this anartha nivritti process. Please help me so that I can get the strength to get out of my, kick off my anarthas. I want that strength, right? Because like it or not, we have to go through this gate, which is anartha nivritti. You cannot escape. If I'm going to stand in front of the gate thinking, you know what, I can actually bypass this and go to Nishtha stage without going through it. Not one single soul has gone through that, including Paramahamsas. Okay. So guess what? You are not spared either. I am not spared either. There is no shortcut. That's the only way. You need to enter that gate, which is called anartha nivritti, go through the pain, which could be as bad as hell. But when you come out of it, we all know how Nishtha feels like. We don't know, but we have heard how Nishtha feels like, how Ashakti feels like, which is attachment, how Ruchi feels like, which is taste, how Bhava tastes like. We have seen it, we have heard it. Bharat Maharaj was in Bhava stage, right? So like this, we have read many personalities. We have seen many Prabhupada's disciples in any of those stages, which they are. They are in the one of those higher rung stages. Ruchi, Bhava, Krishna, Prema, God knows, but they are there. We all know that by their practice. We all know how beautiful it is to be in that stage, just by seeing them. But none of them have gone through it without passing through the gate. They have not bypassed it and gone. In other words, there was no easy route. There was no easy route. Everyone shed tears like anything. They cried like anything to go through that, and they came out of it. Okay. So unfortunately, we are there. We have to go through it too. We can't escape it. So that's why on Balaram Jayanti day, we need strength, because it's a very painful process. Going through anartha nivritti is a painful process. It's like a surgery. Forget about physical surgery, which itself, which is painful, but it's not even near painful to the Anartha Nivritti stage surgery which we go through, because it hits the core of the heart so bad, that you cannot even forget or forgive anyone when someone hits you at the heart, so painful that you cannot even forget and forgive anyone for so-called, pain they caused us. They have basically passed pain to our false ego, but we cannot forgive these people. So we need strength, that's why we all need to pray on Balaram Jayanti Day. One is to do amazing devotional service, serve the Supreme Lord, Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj, whichever Guru you are anyway, right? Doesn't matter, following Prabhupada's lineage. And that's great, but without shedding off the dirty things we got, it's gonna make it so difficult. It's like carrying 50 kg luggage on our shoulder and we are running to achieve the end goal. It's so difficult, because we all know, we all go to India, most of us here, and we know how heavy it is to take luggages. And imagine you lift and you're trying to run towards, it's near impossible, you're gonna at least stop somewhere. Drop the, you want to drop the luggage and oh my God, can't do it. We cannot run without taking a break. So similarly, it's near impossible, carrying all this unnecessary subtle luggages, which is like literally pulling us down like nuts, then obviously we go 10 steps forward and come back 20 steps maybe, because of that luggage. So that's why we need to, somewhere down the line, there has to be one day where we make a decision. I had enough of this. I'm going to drop this. I'm going to drop any more looking out for name fame. I'm going to drop any more looking out for this acknowledgement from everyone. I'm going to drop from myself. I'm going to drop this luggage of, if someone tells something wrong about me, I'm not going to get agitated. I just had enough of it. I'm just going to drop that. You see? So it's important that we, as practitioners, learn to take this bitter pill in a positive mindset. That's the beginning. If we can just start, it's a great beginning, Because right now the world is so fragile. People are so fragile. Including me, I'm saying we all are so fragile. Mentally, we get disturbed so easily. Just a little pinprick is enough. We get disappointed, Yeah, we get so disappointed that when we are driving, I used to think like this many times. When for example, you're driving, right? You're driving. I see this many times. For me, I drive the car. Then all of a sudden, this guy at the back is, pressing the horn. I'm like, what the hell is this guy? I get annoyed, I'm like, that split second, I just go off track. It's like, what's his problem? And then I get so annoyed, and it takes me a few minutes to realize, man, what's that to be annoyed about? Like, what is this? Am I a Hare Krishna or what? Like, what's the difference between me and the guy at the back? He starts chanting Hare Krishna, I'm chanting Hare Krishna. He's getting annoyed. Why am I getting annoyed? I just need to do the needful so that this guy passes through, or maybe I am doing something wrong. Just do what's necessary rather than getting annoyed, And I get annoyed because my false ego gets hurt. You idiot, who are you to find fault at me? You back, right? And the guy who is fawning me. So it's natural. Okay, we are so fragile that a little pinprick is enough to create such a chaos in our head. We forget the principles of Krishna consciousness, mercy, compassion, humility, patience, tolerance. All these big words, just goes off, and all we have is anger filled in our head, and we lose our temper of whatever. Each of us have a soft kind of a weak spot, right? We get caught up somewhere, and we lose it. The plot is gone. And then we feel bad, man, I shouldn't have done this. Why did I do this? And then once I realized it, I don't have the guts and that guy either. I know internally I made a mistake. I see this devotee walking by, but I don't have the guts to go and say sorry. Because again, that's another false ego there, I'm almost literally praying or maybe desiring, I wish this guy takes the first move and come to me. He comes to me, just give a little smile, gives me a license to, come forward and say, hey, okay, man, what's up? Hey, sorry, man, don't worry, I'm just waiting for this little smile. So it gives me a license to go in and have a conversation. And if that guy is stiff standing because he's hurt, that guy is hurt, he's not gonna pay me a way to go and apologize. It's like, man, like because of he got hurt, he's not looking at you in a nice way. He's like, I'm not gonna look at this person, and I'm like, oh, if you think that, I will show you who am I. Go to hell, man. Right? So what happens is total false ego war going on. I'm just saying this is how we are. We as I'm not saying everyone is like that. Everyone has our own weak spots. I'm talking, right? But these kind of things only is not going to help. I mean, like, where are we heading towards? We're going nowhere. So that's why I'm saying it's a painful thing. It's really difficult. It is painful. But we have to make a decision one day that I want to go over this. I think I have to drop this anartha. This is holding me back from where I want to go. We need to make the decision, and we should also stay in that, because what happens is this: we should not do New Year resolutions here. We know New Year resolutions. We make a resolution on January 1st and February 1st. We are back to square one. It's a natural thing, right? We all humans. We are not we don't have that determination we desire for. So this, when we say anartha nivritti, it's not like you do a nivritti today and tomorrow you go back to the same anartha. I'm not talking that bit. A bit of where we have actually just got. We have gone over it. That's it. Just like 4 regulative principles, right? Many of us don't drink tea, coffee, and meat or something. We have not gone back. You know why? Because we have got this higher taste. Nice prasadam. Exactly. You know what, these guys are having fun now in a birthday, right? Even if someone comes and gives us, we're like, nah, I'm not interested. I think I'm already having fun. I'm fine. So that's why it's so important. Same applies here. We need to develop a higher taste. If you want to drop anything, you better hold something. You can't just drop something and just get dropped totally. So if you want to drop all this different anarthas, I better be sure I have a strong hold on whatever I'm doing as a Krishna conscious practice. So that's why both are so important. I cannot do anartha nivritti and forget about serving Krishna, or I cannot say serve Krishna and forget about anartha nivritti either. It doesn't. You need to do both. That's why when you take initiation, there are do's and don'ts. You need to do both. You can't just do do's alone. This is 16 rounds and 4 regs. Reading Prabhupada's books and all that. Not 4 regs is actually don'ts. You can't just focus on the don'ts. Oh, I do all 4 regs, Prabhu, but 16 rounds I do on and off. Sorry, you're not eligible. Oh, I do 16 rounds, Prabhu, but 4 regs I do on and off. Sorry, you're not eligible either. You need to do both. So the same applies. If in anartha nivritti, yes, we need to do anartha nivritti, but provided we are very strongly practicing our sadhana, which is Brahmamurta sadhana, chanting, reading, service, association, preaching. So we have a strong, both are going in the same pace, So what happens is you have developed a higher taste to such an extent when someone comes and talks, Prabhu, what is this? You don't even know this or what? Or maybe, they're not even acknowledging you. You are the one who did the whole thing, man. You did the whole, let's say, you did so many books, everyone gets the glory. You are just like 1 among 10 standing on the side. No one cares for you, but you will not even be affected because you are already so blissed out with the service. This doesn't matter for you. Or if someone comes on top of it, says a fault, Prabhu, it's because of you this happened. I'm so upset, And again, for you that will not even have an impact because you're so happy that, wow, or sometimes not even happy. You will feel so sad in one sense that, oh man, I made this mistake without knowing. Sorry. And then you will be so happy that going forward, I'm not going to offend you anymore. So what happens is, because you have this higher taste, you feel so happy. So that's why it's so important that we need to pray for this and put efforts. Then naturally we have a higher chance for ourselves to become more spiritually moving forward, because you're dropping off your anarthas, you're moving forward in your spiritual services also. Otherwise, it's going to be like a ship on the harbor or the port where the anchor is so deeply down. You're going, the ship is going in the 5th gear, 10th gear, or whatever, and the ship is still standing there only, right? It's not moving. Man, what's happening here? Yeah, because the anchor is so grounded. How can I move? You know, it's not going to happen. You may put all the force, it won't work. So it's important. So on Balaram Jayanti, all of us, you know, for me personally, that's what every single, could be not Jayanti or any day, as a matter of fact, you know, the prayer is always the same. Whenever we get a chance to pray, is that, yes, one is like, I want to go forward, I want to preach, I want to serve, I want to make the big difference in the planet. Yeah, because this is what Prabhupada wants. This is what I also want to do personally. But at the same time, please, you know, give me the intelligence, give me the strength, so I can have the guts to really digest what is not necessary in my life, really have the strength to go over all the anarthas, get rid of them, go through the painful process, so that I can be more purified and straight, you know, rather than being distracted with all this useless desires, to be frank, you know. Something which is duty bound as a father, mother, son, daughter, whatever, great. But something which is nothing to do with anything, is just there because I want it, it's useless, right? It's just a disturbance, even within our family and even within our service. It's just a disturbance. So we want to pray that, you know, Balaram, always, not just on the Balaram Jayanti day, we always need to pray to Prabhupada, the Guru Parampara, that please give me the strength so that I can get over this, you know, I don't get distracted, I don't get destroyed by these unwanted desires, and it pulls me down. By us just acknowledging that and sincerely, actually, not just praying, but putting an effort, you will see how much, it pleases, because pleases Krishna and Prabhupada and everyone, you see. Because this is what they want to see. Because let's be frank, you know, we cannot get over this anarthas or all this Maya's influence on us. Why? Because Maya is Krishna's energy. It's near impossible to go over it. Only Krishna himself, if he so desires, will open the door for us and makes life easy. So we cannot get over it. We need mercy. But it's only available for those who are begging for it, who are really putting effort for it, right? It's not available for someone like, you know what, I have an agenda that no one touches my anartha, so better don't do it. And don't worry, then Krishna is not even going to enter in our zone, you know. It won't work, you know. So that's why we need to genuinely look for it, genuinely pray for it, cry for it. Then super high chances we all will get the strength to get over it. But if I'm genuinely not even interested to go and get give up my anarthas, I want to keep that securely in the vault, you know, with the lock. And then, yeah, but I'll do service. So you're pretty much losing the plot, you know, it's not going to work. I'm going to be, I'm going to be like now nowhere going forward, all backwards, you know. So, but this attempt of desire will surely please the Lord and Prabhupada, you know. So I'll just tell this one final story and we close. It shows how it is to prove that Prabhupada is very pleased when a disciple or a devotee of Prabhupada is putting all the donkey efforts amidst all the crazy challenges which happens in the world. Okay, the world in a sense in themselves and how he does. So the two things come in my head, you know, on Prabhupada's pastime there with his disciples. So I'll tell one of them. This is very obvious one. I'll tell both. It's a short one. So one of them was, you know, this is very, I think you would have heard this many times, but it kind of very sits, it's pretty much what you call, it goes in line with what we are saying. So Prabhupada, when he was in Mayapur and Malati Mataji, and many of those Prabhupada disciples were, this is the days when Mayapur had hut. They had just a hut, right? Nothing else. It's a full grassland. So Prabhupada had many of his followers, God brothers. He invited the God brothers for lunch prasadam. And Malati Mataji was there, the cook. She was the one who was cooking for various, I think across that whole time period, she was the cook, personal cook of Prabhupada. So when God brothers, Gaudiya Math sannyasis were planning to come to Prabhupada to see him, because he came back from somewhere tour, so Prabhupada invited them, so they are there. Sannyasis were there. So Prabhupada wants to show his disciples, basically, all his Western disciples, and Prabhupada want to show that, see how nice they are. Because at that period of time, Gaudiya Math was not their traditional sannyasis, traditional devotees, they were not kind of acknowledging, embracing the Western disciples. Okay, so they had views of various types. So Prabhupada wants to kind of bridge the gap to say that they're also nice devotees. Just because they're Western body doesn't mean they are lower devotees. So what happened is Prabhupada told Malati Mataji, the God brothers are coming, do nice feast today. So obviously, I'm just cutting the story short because Malati Mataji, that's a big context story behind it. But Malati Mataji herself had a lot of challenges to cook even a normal meal, forget about big feast, because of no money, no place to cook, nothing, But she went through a lot of challenges constantly across weeks and months just to cater Prabhupada's needs, So when that day happened, she was even more bewildered. How is this going to happen? I couldn't even cook one person's meal. Forget about all these God brothers who have super high expectation. And Malati Mataji by then almost had a thought process of she's going to leave the service she has in Mayapur and escape from there, because she went through a lot. Prabhupada was constantly critiquing her cooking, her service for weeks. Okay, and Malati Mataji was constantly crying at the background. She will do the bits and bobs. Prabhupada will say blah 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 X Y Z, and then she'll go off and cry for hours. So and she was, imagine, okay, these disciples of Prabhupada were literally in early 20s. Their age was early 20s. They were like 21, 23, 25. They were nowhere near 30s or 40s. All Prabhupada's disciples at that period, especially Mahatmas, they were all like 25-ish, plus or minus 3. That's the age they were in. Including my Guru Maharaj was there in Mayapur. He wasn't like, this is, I'm talking about in 70s, it's like, 21, 22, they're all in that 20, 25 bracket, okay? Just imagine, we all know how the 20s are. Like you go and see, current day children who are like 20, 20, people are, they're not mature. Let's put it like that. But so you don't, it's not to be surprised when someone found fault, especially Prabhupada, they cry. It's like, it's obvious for a girl who is 25, 23 years old, just coming and doing services is big. Forget about being critiqued about it. So this Mataji was crying, she was crying and she felt so bad. Oh, Prabhupada is not happy with me and all that. And she almost made a mental plan. Okay, I need to leave this place because I think I'm, not because she's hurt. Here's the thing, okay, her thought process, I don't want to displease Prabhupada by being here, I'm not doing justice. I would rather leave. So she had that spiritual thought process. So what happened is, on the day the sannyasis all came, they all sat and, regal, when they were young, they had this regal appearance sitting there. Prabhupada was talking about all the projects in ISKCON. And then Malati Mataji came with, like a traditional, on those days, and nowadays you don't see that much. There are like that, but not much. The woman fully covers the whole body. All you see is this part of the face. Everything else is covered. So she came in so humble and meek, just came in and like, because she was so scared to death, because she didn't know what to expect from this God brothers, sannyasis who are like, like lions, very strict and, strong-faced person, no element of smile coming out of it. I'm like, man, I don't know what these guys are going to be doing. So she was like very scared, timid, came in, do all the little bit here and there, sir, prasadam, this and that. And then she just walked off. And while she was walking off, Prabhupada just told the God brothers, she was just walking off at the edge of the room. And then Prabhupada told the God brothers that, see, these are all my dear God sisters, sorry, dear God daughters. Okay, anyway, my dear daughters, who are, she's from America, he was kind of showcasing how glorious she is. Again, imagine, okay, here is Malti Mataji on the side of the room who's been chastised the last 1 week. Okay. And then today she hears all this big glorification from Prabhupada. Like, she's such a great cook, blah, blah, blah. And then he said one statement which she couldn't digest. He said that these devotees of mine have given so much of their life for me. He said that to his God brothers that, I'm ready to even slit my throat if it's to save them from any danger, and she just couldn't hear that. She left the room, and then she was crying for days, Malati Mataji, because she felt like like how could I think to this Prabhupada? How could I think anything negative about him? How did I even get hurt by him? Because Prabhupada, when he said that I'm ready to kill myself if it needs to be for me to save these disciples in any danger, she couldn't understand the depth of love Prabhupada had, and he openly declared that to his sannyasi God brothers. She cried like, days and days. And then she said that was the day I made a decision that I'm never ever going to give up anything, and I'm just going to give my life for him, So I just, it's just a context there to set. Like Prabhupada knew that she is going through hell to do the services. So much anartha nivritti is happening to the extent she's crying like anything for all the little pinpricks which happened, right, during her services. But Prabhupada even saw that this Mataji is still persisting, slogging, serving, pushing through all the thorns and the blood which is coming out of her heart, because of all those bad things which is going on inside, even though she's been critiqued, even though imagine those days in ISKCON or even across the world, women was not given that equal importance like we see nowadays. Nowadays, there are so many conversations are going on. Those days, that we are not here to discuss that point. No one even bothers, right? They were not even given any equal opportunities, forget about respect. And obviously, it was there within even the ISKCON movement, because that's how the society was. And so, I'm not even going into details there, but it was not easy for her to even do a simple cooking, basically, because she, because it was then dominated by sannyasis and brahmacharis. So females, Matajis, have to go through lot of difficulties. We're not even going to discuss that here. Where just to do normal service, if a male figure gets to do it, if he puts 1% effort, a female has to put 10% effort to do the same service. That's how challenging it was. But Prabhupada knew all that. He knows all that. He knows, and he was accommodating them still, because that's how the world is. It's not like go and create solutions. People had their own, Prabhupada acknowledged, everyone had their own egos, and he has to respect all that. So Prabhupada understood this Malati Mataji is going through hell to make it happen. And Prabhupada's intentions are clear. Of his critique was not for his personal sense gratification. He wanted to train his devotees, so that when he's not there, they can handle the world without him. So Prabhupada had a higher intention, and he was critiquing constantly. And when he saw Malati Mataji was still persisting to push through, Prabhupada said that statement, which he wouldn't say to anyone. I will slit my throat because these girls are doing it for me. So that is the level of faith and trust we gain from Prabhupada. That when he sees that his disciples are slogging themselves to go through hell just because to please him, that's the extent he goes. He said, I will kill myself for these people. I will give myself to them. It's a very powerful statement, and she couldn't handle that. From that day on, she made the decision, I'm not giving a second thought anymore in my life. She understood the depth. She understood the depth of Prabhupada's love he had for his disciples. And then she said, you know what? I'm going deep now. I'm not going to be shallow, looking for name, fame, glory, acknowledgement, center of attraction. Go to hell. It is cheap. It is a cheap commodity in front of a personality like Prabhupada. So she just kicked that off, right? So that was one. And the other one was Prabhupada got a letter when he was somewhere in the world. I don't remember, but he was somewhere in the world, and he got this letter from one of his disciples. She was married. And she had children with some Prabhu or men, whoever it is, I don't remember, but she was married, and she poured out in her letter like anything to say, crying like literally, Prabhupada, I'm trying my best to do my 16 rounds. I'm trying to follow my 4 regulatory principles, but I'm facing so much challenge from my part. I don't know, from the family, from the world. I'm getting pulled back into to have drugs. I'm getting pulled back into do, illicit things, right? And then she was saying, I'm getting so discouraged by all this, people not giving me the thing what I'm looking for. It could be, the acknowledgement and name, whatever, And she said, I'm going through all this hellish thingy, but I'm still pushing myself to chant Prabhupada. Just to please you. I need your prayers. I need your blessings. Please help me. Please help me. I literally begged like anything. Right? And Prabhupada read that whole letter, and he started crying in front of that devotee who is reading the letter. He started crying. And he started crying, and he started saying that how much difficulty my disciples have to go through just to practice 16 rounds and 4 eggs. He said, I'm so much indebted to them. And he started crying, This is the challenge they all need to go through, but how much they're putting up to. So Prabhupada was deeply acknowledging and moved to see how much effort these people are putting. It's not as simple. Prabhupada was, you're saying it's not as simple as we think, because these Indian people were coming in and saying, oh, your disciples can't even, Western, right? They're saying they can't even recite Sanskrit slokas. They don't even remember Bhagavad Gita slokas. They don't even know how to treat a sannyasi. So these Indian people were coming in and criticizing. And Prabhupada showed this letter, and he was crying to say, none of these things ever matter, because do you have any devotion like this girl has? So Prabhupada was insisting to say that the devotion these people are having is far beyond what you think. And he was saying, you will never understand what they are going through. The amount of struggle they are going through, you cannot understand. But just see how much effort they're putting still to persist, just to please me, So Prabhupada was crying. He couldn't even contemplate the point that what challenges these people are going through just because they want to please me. So that's my point. I'm saying, yes, we're not going to be successful in going, in getting over our anarthas. Let's be clear, we're going to die with it. Okay, we're going to be dying with this intrinsic, deep-rooted desire to be the center of the whole world, be acknowledged always, need to always want to look, name, fame, right? Because it's going to be like that, because that's the power of Maya. If Bharat Maharaj has to get attached to a deer at the time of death, what kind of monkey donkey we are, right? We have nothing to compare. And he was in Baba stage. just to let you know. He was almost next door of Krishna Prema and he got attached due to his anarthas. So, so we have no chances of getting over it. So I'm not even discussing that point. My focus of discussion is effort and the intrinsic sincere desire to beat that, because that's what Prabhupada acknowledged from Malati Mataji and this Mataji who was crying for help, right? And that's the mood we are trying to bring here. That's the mood we want to invite. That's the mood. That's the footstep we want to follow. Okay, because that's in our control. Anartha Nivritti is not in our control. It's not in my control. It's not in my control to give up what do you call name, fame, desire, because it's something beyond me. I can put the effort, but I cannot achieve the end product without blessings. It's not my control. So the only thing which is in my control is I'm going to fight for it till the end. That's in my control. That's in my control, which I can do. But will I achieve it or not? I can't do it, anything. I can just wait and pray, right? But what Krishna, what especially Srila Prabhupada is looking is for that effort. You are slogging like a dog, irrespective, you get thrown stones at you, right? And that's what Prabhupada disciples did. And Prabhupada sincerely acknowledged to the extent he was crying and making bold claims to say, I will give my life for these people because they are doing it for me, So that's my point, that's the prayer we should have, on Balaram Jayanti and all this, not Jayanti, man, every single day, our prayer should be that, to please give me the strength, this strong desire, I just can't get over this nonsense which is attached to me for lifetimes. I have this strong, I don't give up this desire. I don't give up this fight, right? And I get the strength to handle all the challenges which comes with it, with the pain which comes with it, in addition to all the services, your opportunities are giving me, right? Because that's what is the crux. If we get to do that, then Krishna sees, Prabhupada sees, he's seeing, he sees that, this guy is slogging, and you get the blessings then. Then we get the blessings, then we escape from the clutches of Maya, you see. So, but we don't have the power to escape, But my point is, that, we are not, the thing is, we are such a sad, pity state. We are not even in that state where we are genuinely fighting against our desires. We have pretty much taken it as, yeah, it's good to have it. Because the reason I say is, I speak with many devotees, right? And when you actually get to converse to the topic of, what, you need to, is there a thing you can please improve here, please improve that? Because I have the service of what, correcting people if they go wrong. It's for me to say, if not another devotee comes and pokes me, hey, Prabhu, did you tell that guy? He made me angry that day, and I'm not happy with him. Can you go and talk to this person and tell him that he should not do this anymore? And, to the extent whatever I may tell this devotee, you'll say, yeah, but make sure he knows what he has to improve also. Okay. So for me, I have this amazing service where I need to make sure things are communicated and people get to hear what are their mistakes, or people who are getting angry around behind the scene, which no one is aware of. And I'm surprised many times. Obviously, I'm not saying I'm like, oh yes, Prabhu, please, I will follow from tomorrow everything. I will retaliate also. But even after constant conversations and trying to make understand, yeah, man, that's fine, but you need to move forward, get something together. What's the problem? Can you just think about it? The majority of I would say 90% of my conversation will always end up in a negative way, because the person is not ready to take it. 90%, only 10% will say, okay, Prabhu, I'm sorry for it. I think I will improve. I will surely do what I can to move forward. Please help me. 10% I'm saying serious here. If I speak with 10 guys, only one accepts that. Remaining 9 constantly go into the route of debating with me, constantly go into the route of challenging, excuses, justification. No, it's not me. No, it's him. No, you don't understand what I'm saying. No, you are biased. You are always supporting me. You have supporting him. You have never supported me before. It's actually you are the problem. They end up targeting me now straight off the bat. I'm like, hey man, hold on, man. I'm just trying to make sure you guys are working together. No, it's you, because you simply seem to support him always. I'm like, okay, did I make a mistake here? I get confused at a second. I don't know how to speak here. Maybe I spoke in the wrong way. I get confused a split second there. So, and then I feel bad, man. Because of my ego, I've kind of hurt these guys again. Holy God, when am I going to get out of this leader ego? So it's like so confusing. It's so difficult. People. Basically, it's so difficult. You want to help someone because people around them, devotees around are feeling negative about this person. I want to help this guy genuinely because I don't want him to be seen as a devil in front of everyone. And you generally go, you know what, man, I just want to say something. Can I help you? And then you just go and talk. And I come across being the devil there because that guy doesn't take the subject clearly because maybe I didn't say it right. That's understood, but it doesn't come across right, and people get put off to the extent where they leave sometimes, or maybe they don't want to be seeing you anymore. Or they don't want the service anymore. It goes to that extent sometimes, but what can I do? Hare Krishna, man. I mean, like people are not happy. I need to tell what I have to tell. And it surprises because, we understand it's not easy, but we go through this turmoil because I'm not I don't have the intention straight in the first place. The intention is I'm always right, someone is wrong. I'm not ready to go through any transformation because I'm already transformed. I have no mistakes on my side and I'm not going to hear anything from you. So the intention foundation itself is kind of all over the place. It becomes very difficult. You can't help those people. They boldly said, I'm not doing any anartha nivritti process here. Just don't waste my time. And how can you help someone? But they speak about Krishna Prema, being Prabhupada's servant, I'm a devotee, but you're like in an illusion here. It doesn't work. So that's why I'm saying, at least we should have the foundation straight, which is, yes, I agree it's painful, but yes, I agree I need to change. I need to do something. Okay, tell me what. I'm not happy about it, but you know what? I just need to go through it. I need to do it if that's what is needed, So it's like that, we just need to have that little guts to stand up against our illusory attachments, we need to stand up against it. If not, we're just going to fall prey to it constantly. And the day will never come where you will actually fight against it. And the day will never come where we will get mercy because I'm not standing up. Only when I stand up against it, then Krishna will give you strength to stand up. But if I'm like, I'm not going to be bothered, then it's not going to happen, And you see, imagine that beautiful exchange Prabhupada had with his disciples. They're blessed. And where are they? Like Malati Mata, she's like in a different planet. These personalities are in a different world now, even though they're physically here. So that's why I'm saying it's important. We just need to go through it a bit stronger together. And we need to keep that as a foundation and we take association. Association, yes, be ready to transform and go in that mindset. Then chances are we will learn so much, we move forward so fast, and we just become a better person in a very short time frame. And all our prayers will be so pleasing to the Lord because we are genuinely working towards it, And you get all these amazing blessings from Prabhupada. It's really pleasing to them. So I think Balaram Jayanti, this would be a great thing for all of us to do. Not for the Jayanti, like I said, on a daily basis. We pray hard, work towards it. Achieving the goal, achieving the end product, none of our business, but at least we should fight, stand up against, push forward, So that needs to be a constant effort. When we are actually, like we read in the Bhagavatam verse, we are following those Mahatmas, the Mahajans. We are working towards being a devotee. We are, yes, sense gratifiers, but I'm fighting against it. We fall into the bracket of becoming a good devotee, becoming the devotee which Prabhupada wants us to be, So that's where we are. Hare Krishna. So is I don't know. Is anyone showing the Jagannath? I think Yamuneshwari is there. You can see the font. Maybe you can show Jagannath Darshan if I don't know if Jagannath is still awake. You see? Anyway, so I think we can close it off, right? Or do we show darshan? What? Vivek Prabhu, you guys are done the party or what? Okay, anyway.
No, no party, Prabhu.
No
Just,
party?
no
Just
party.
what? Yeah, you had the biggest cake in the planet and you're saying no party? You holy God.
Yeah, cake has already gone into all the kids.
Digestive system. It's in the stomach digesting now.
Yes.
Okay, so whatever you do, close it off, man. Whatever announcements or something, I don't know if you guys do anything.
Yeah, so mainly, Prabhu, we have Balram Jayanti. So Balram Jayanti is coming. So Soha has asked us for some volunteers. So I will publish the required services and with the timing. And also we have upcoming Janmashtami. So especially on 7th of September, Soha has asked for help. We know that Manor is also celebrating, but
Yeah.
priority will be Soho. If we
Yeah.
have more volunteers, then we will divert to Manor.
100%.
And also we have Gita Gyan going on. So now only few classes are remaining. So we need all the Gita Gyan facilitator to nominate the participants for the sloka recitation and realization, so that we can have Mahamilan on 3rd of September. And then we have to encourage all of them to join our Rath Yatra. And,
Oh, yes. And Janmashtami.
Yeah, Janmashtami and then Rath Yatra. So these are the two announcements as of now I have.
Okay. Good stuff. So we close up then. Jai. Srila Prabhupada Srimad Bhagavatam Balaram Jayanti. We will see you all, you party guys. Early morning. Prasadam finished. What is that, man?
So we have Bhushan Mataji, Kanchan Mataji, Purvi, Navya. She is the birthday girl. Please bless her.
Where?
Oh,
Huh?
so we can sing this time Hare Krishna. Actually, she is scared with you, so she is not turning here.
Oi! Turn around! Oi! Oi, Haribal! Oi! How many? What's her age, man?
Okay.
What's her age now?
4, Prabhu.
4. What a joke, man.
Prabhu, you have a special effect on all the kids.
Oh, yes. Why not? Just for the few years, Then after that, anyway, once they become big, I run away. The opposite direction. Oh, some Julian is going on. Everyone can take darshan, spotlight, do the good stuff. Even I'll go down. Okay? You're gonna spotlight or whatever there.
Oh, Julan.
Huh? Where is it? Let me see if I can do or what.
Yes, I did.
Okay, good stuff. Okay, take darshan. I'm going down. Okay, Jai. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
So, Prabhu, when we can come for Jhulan Yatra and Jagannath House? What time?
Yeah. Generally from 7:38 onwards, we'll after Gaura Aarti, we keep Radha Madhav photo there and do.
Okay. So till 9 o'clock.
Yeah. Obviously, 9 o'clock, 9:30 max, and then we close off.
And in the morning?
But don't you call the
Morning
credit?
we don't have.
That
Only
will
evening.
help us so much, really.
Huh? Yeah, evening.
After Gaura Aarti, we have to.
Yes, after Gaura Aarti, man. After Gaura Aarti.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Yeah, I'll go down and do. We'll see you all anyway. Hare Krishna, enjoy. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna.